Namaste JVNs. I Tanushi Sahani from Faculty of Law and Governance from Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I'm going to teach you a new topic termed as contract of bailment. Now, contract of bailment is a topic referred under the subject named special contract. It is applicable to BLLB, BCom LLB, BBA LLB second sem. So, what do you mean by bailment? Under what which sections is it defined? What is the basic difference between pledge and bailment and many more things? So, section 148 to section 171 defines the topic of bailment. Now, what is a bailment? Bailment means a bailment of goods for a specific purpose, except two purpose. What were the two purpose? The first purpose is a security of a loan, and second is a performance of a promise. So, what is the mere difference between the pledge and bailment? Mind it, in pledge also the bailment of goods is being done, but for a specific two purpose, that is, I just named them performance of a promise and security for a loan. But in the condition of bailment, this is exempted from it. The promise has been made, this bailment is being made for a specific purpose, but the two topics, the two specific purpose mentioned in pledge is being excluded from it. So, what is the definition of bailment? Bailment means the goods are being bailed for a specific purpose except these two. Right? Now, one more thing. Only the possession is being transferred, not the ownership. Now, we'll deal with many examples. So, I think the concept must be clear to you. First example is, suppose I have my watch. I am having my watch. I am giving my watch to you for further practice or for further using it. Now, what happened in this case? I, Mr. Baylor, because I am giving the topic to you, because I here am the owner. You are Mr. B. Take, you are the Bailey because you are receiving my watch. Now, you are receiving my watch for repairing it. So the owner is termed as a bailor, that means I am a bailor, and the term or the person who received it or who get the possession for a limited time period, either for repairing it, for using it, for doing anything, right, is termed as the bailey. I am the giver, I am giving it to you, you are the receiver, you are receiving it. The person who is the giver, the owner, is termed as a bailor. You are termed as a bailey. ठीक. Now, what is your work? Your work is to take care of the goods, to repair the goods, to it's your duty to take care of the goods received by bailor. Now, one more thing. What you used to what you have to do, you have to either return it or dispose it accordingly, right? Now, what happens? How will you do it? Like, I'll give you one more example. You are using my car, ठीक है, you are using my car as a friend. You can retain it because you are using it from my permission. After, when you use it, you have to return back it to me, and during that course of time you have to mind that it is your duty to take care of my goods. Next example can be, suppose I have a cow. I went to a city, and in a village I gave the cow's responsibility to you. So I am the owner of a particular cow. I am termed as a bailiff. I responded, I gave the responsibility to you. You are the bailiff. Now it's your duty to take care of the cow. Suppose what happened during that time when I gave the possession to you, the cow gave a birth to a calf also. Now, what happens? Will you be only responsible to return me the cow because I gave the cow to you? Or with that, you will also be responsible to return the calf to me because during that time the cow gave the birth to the calf. Yes, you are allowed to give a calf to me also because it is the child of cow and the cow was given by me to you. So it would be your responsibility to take care of both the and the cow and the calf. Next example can be, I gave you my book or I gave you my notes. So I am the owner of the notes because I made my notes from various books, laptop, like sites, online sites, Manupatra and all. Now what happened? It's your responsibility because you are receiving it, you are the bailey. It's your responsibility to use it, to study it. After using it properly, give it to me, return it to me, or dispose of it accordingly. Like you want to pass the notes to further people, my notes for studying, you can give it, but it's your responsibility to return it the same way to me. Now, there can be more example like shoes. I have a pair of shoes. You want it to you want to go in a party and you do not have same color of heels with it. Check, you took my heels. I am the bailer because I am the owner, you are the bailey. Now after using it you can return it to me. Now always mind it that as I am the owner, I am just transferring you the goods to use it for a limited time period. I am just giving the possession to you for a limited time period. I am not giving you the ownership. You cannot sell it further. Suppose you took a laptop from me to use it, it's okay, I gave it from my permission, you can definitely use it, but you do not have the right to sell that, right? You do not have the right to sell my heels, my laptop, my anything, because you are not the actual owner of it. I am the actual owner of it. It's your responsibility, your ultimate responsibility is to use it, to take care of it, and to return it or to dispose it accordingly. Clear? Many more examples can be, house. Suppose you came to Delhi. I am already residing in Delhi, but you do not know anyone. You came to me that Tanushi, you are my friend. Where should I live? Suggest me. So I have one portion empty with it, vacant with it. One room was vacant. I handed over the possession, the key of that room to that person, to my friend. Now what happened? I am the owner of that room, so I am the bailer here. The other person is the okay. So we discussed the concept of bailment, that who a bailer is, who a bailey is, and many more. Right? Now, uh, one more thing. Always reminded that a bailment means the transfer of goods for a specific purpose, right? Except those two, I told you what are the two. Number one was security for a loan, and number two was performance of a promise, right? But the bailment is always done of a movable property, it is never done for a immovable property. I repeat, bailment is always done for a movable property, not for a immovable property. Many more examples can be, yeah, I am a contractor. You needed a land for me from me to open an educational institution or whatever. I gave you my land to you for some time. You can definitely use it, but you do not have the ownership on that land, right? I will definitely give you the authority to use it, but you cannot have the ownership. So here I am the bailer and you are the bailey. You totally have the possession of that land. You can use it from my permission, but you do not have the ownership of that land. You cannot never use it on the basis of bailer, or like the bailer can use the goods, but you on behalf of bailer can definitely not use it. There are different types of bailment even. We'll continue it in further lecture, like there are many types of bailment, like gracious bailment, non-gracious bailment. This is classified under the types of classification, the types of consideration. And there is one more type of bailment, that is the bailment on the basis of benefits. In it we classify it as bailment on the basis of benefit on the of the bailer, or benefit of the bailey, or mutual benefit, like mutual benefit of both the bailer and the bailey. We'll discuss it further, but I think the basic concept of bailer, bailey, and who is a baler, who is a bailee, who is the owner, what is the purpose of bailee must be definitely clear to you. So any contract that is enforceable by law, that is transferable, right, and it contains the concept of bailment, is termed as a contract of bailment. Let's take more examples of jewelry selling, or repairing of mobile, repairing of car, repairing of scooty, repairing of any electronic thing, repairing of fridge, house repairing, anything. Like, yeah, I told you the example of tenant also. The tenant, what happens in the case of landlord and tenant, that times the tenant is the possessing one. The tenant has a right to possess it and to use it with the help of, with the permission of a bailer. Here, the tenant is the bailee, and the tenant is the bailee, and the who is the bailer, and the landlord is the bailer, because landlord here is the actual owner. Who is the landlord? Landlord is the actual owner, and he is the bailer, because he is giving his property to the tenant to use it for a limited time period, but definitely not transferring the ownership of the property to the bailee. I think the concept must be clear to you between bailer and bailee. Next example can be, I uh, am having a great business, a good business. What happens? I need to go out of station for some time. I handed over the business to my friend to take care of it. When I come back from the place I went, can the bailee be said that no, he is not going to transfer the possession again to me? Can he? No, definitely he cannot say that he is the owner of the property now, because what happens basically, the bailer is the actual owner of the property. The bailee can only use the land, the product, the money, whatever the thing is that is being transferred by the bailer to the bailee, but cannot own it. ठीक? The bailer do not have any right, the bailer do not have any right to sell the goods. Like, if I'm having, I gave you the land, right, and I went abroad, you are having the duty to possess is to take care of it, but you definitely are not having the duty to sell it. You are having the duty to retain it, but it's not your duty to sell the product there, right, or the good, or the shop, whatever it is. Now bailee can only use the transferred good. The good can be a car, bike, laptop, anything that is tangible, or anything that has been transferred from the bailer to the bail. He can retain it, he can use it, but he cannot sell it, right? Suppose a friend's book, I gave a book, my book, to my friend for reading. He cannot repay it, means he cannot sell the book in the market. He can only read it, make notes from it. He can share with other persons, but he do not have the right to sell the book in the market. From my side, it's clear. I guess it must be clear to you the concept of bailment, difference between who is a bailer, who is a bailee, who is a pledger, who is a pledgee, who is a pawner, who is a pawnee, who, what actually bailment is, what actually pledges. So bailment, transfer of goods for a specific purpose, except what? Except specific performance, or for a performance of promise. And pledge, bailment of goods, transfer of goods of the specific performance or a security of a debt. Clear? So I hope the concept of the bailer must be clear to you. We'll discuss further in many more classes regarding the types of bailment and what are the duties of a bailer and bailee, and what are the rights of a bailer and a bailee. Always mind that the duties of a bailer will be rights of the bailee, and the rights of the bailiff would be the duties of the bailee. I hope the whole concept with various examples must be clear to you. Thank you, one and all.